What's up, YouTube? My name is Wolf Era and welcome to my channel, the Manga Club. As you might be able to tell, I'm going to be giving you guys all things manga and all things anime. And one of the basic goals of the channel is to get manga on a global scale. Like, you guys gotta understand that every single day manga is getting more and more press time and influence all across the world, country to country. It's not just a Japan thing anymore. Like, more people are discovering it, and as that becomes like a thing, like there really needs to be a baseline as to definitions and official meanings and stuff like that, because right now it's kind of wishy-washy. Like, there's no regulations. So I want that to be done here, and it's really going to be a discussion based channel where you guys can comment down below how you feel on it. Like, I'll make a video about a subject and you guys respond. I don't want to do too much talking though. I want to get straight into the content of this video, which is what is the difference between an anime and a manga. You guys may think this is a hilarious question if you've been in the field for a while, but just think back to when you was first introduced to it. I'm only been a fan for like a year now. But when I first started, I had no idea that there was two separate things. Like, I just used the words interchangeably. But they're actually very different. You know, they're two distinct fields. In its most basic form, a manga is a Japanese comic, you know? Like, it's a comic that comes from Japan. And anime, which is short for animation, is the visual form of that, you know? It's the actual video, it's the cartoon, so to speak. Even some older fans get confused about this because there's a lot of arguments of whether or not a manga can truly be produced outside of Japan. And although this is a easy answer, you know, I want to discuss it in a separate video just because it is such a big discussion inside of the manga community. But for now, I'm just going to give you the simple answer, which is no, it can't, because the definition of a manga is that it has to originate from Japan. But technically it is also no, or sort of both. And again, I'm gonna explain that later, but to make it simple, no. That's why I'm about to make a lot of people mad, because a lot of people like to say that shows like Teen Titans and Boondocks and even Avatar is influenced by Japan, so they include a lot of the anime aspects. But they're not actually anime, and you guys need to understand that. They're comics and cartoons that are influenced by anime. Influence, not actual influence. And that's why I even made up the word manga, because it also stands for, you know, influence / imitation / I did this, but it's not the real thing. And I'm gonna call them things mangas. But if I just say the word manga or I just say the word anime, then it has to be referring to something that came from Japan. Now, it goes deeper than this though. That's just like it on the basic surface level. But the differences between the two also have a lot to do with, you know, some misconceptions with anime and manga. If you're a person who says you only watch anime because it's like the finished product, or you're a person who only reads manga because it's, you know, more detailed and authentic, so to speak, then you're really missing out, and you really should be doing both, plain and simple, because you're going to get more out of it. Like, each field has its pros and cons. One of the biggest differences between the two is the fact that the time created really makes for the separation. A manga can take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks to a month to fully get the finished product, you know. An artist has to draw it out, you know, it has to make the storyboards to draw out. Then if it's doing it the traditional way, which a lot of Japanese artists still do, of actually applying the screen tones on the paper, that takes a while. It's quite a lengthy process. Anime, however, can cover up to 2, maybe even 3 chapters of manga in a single episode. Like, just in one sitting in 20 minutes, you can be watching something that took a month for the actual artist to create. So unless the actual manga series is finished, you can often get something called a filler inside of the anime, because the animators are basically left with no content to create their videos with, but they still have to put something out. So shows like Naruto really struggle with fillers. Another very big difference between the two is the fact that anime often skips out on the finer details of things simply because they can do other things to take the place. When you watch an anime, at the very beginning you're given an opening sequence or an intro, which often features like a lot of details of what's about to happen, like sort of foreshadowing. You get songs, you get background music during the actual show, you get flashy effects and bangs and booms and all types of sound that can't be done with a manga simply because a manga can't make actual sound. You know, it's not auditory, it's all visual. Manga has to thus rely on more detail to order to fill in the gaps. You know, when you get a fight scene in manga, it can take up to 4 to 5 pages to get it fully done, just because the manga artist has to do so much to actually show what's going on. Like, it has to show each punch, it has to show each kick, turn of the head, you know, commentary to say what really just happened. Again, going back to the Naruto example, when he did his little Rasengan, like for the first time, who would actually understand like what was happening? So obviously it needed some commentary on the side to explain the details in full of what was actually going on. The anime, however, they really could have just been like boom, swirl, swirl, hit you, and then you would have been fine because you was able to follow it with your eyes in sequence. But there's just so much that goes into a manga that, you know, that's just not possible. So a lot of the times these details are skipped, and the biggest example of this is Tokyo Ghoul. Now Tokyo Ghoul has both a manga and an anime, but the anime often is highly criticized because it completely sort of disregards the manga. Like, there's a certain link between the two, but they're very different. There's whole story arcs, and arc is basically like, I don't know, arc is like a book in a volume, if you're referring to American terms. And the anime actually gets the whole arc of the manga, and it also is chronologically different, and there also are some dialogues that are skipped. And a lot of people hate it because you don't really understand a lot of things if you just watch the anime, because they was presented in the manga in a way that anyone who read it would understand. But because the actual anime had to be confined to about 12 episodes, each episode about 20 minutes, that's a very tiny time limit. So some things had to go, plain and simple. I love the Tokyo Ghoul animation and I love the manga pretty much evenly, but the manga is a little bit better. But the anime was very pleasing to actually watch, just to see it out. So I'm not saying, you know, choose this one over that one. I'm just saying if you watch the anime and read the manga, you got so much more out of it just because you understood the things that were unsaid. And there's plenty more differences that go along, and you can do more research, but in its basics, that's what the two are. So just keep in mind that the manga is the actual drawings of it that came in the book, and the anime is the visual form. So some of my more older fans can comment down below, what is your drug of choice? Like, do you like manga better or do you like anime better? But that's about it, guys. Also, if you have a suggestion for next week, definitely tell me, because I do want it to be about you guys. But if not, I probably will be covering why I personally believe that the answer to if a manga can be created outside of Japan is complicated. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and share it, because it's all about trying to get manga on that global scale, like I said. So the more people who are involved, the more people can spread it, and, you know, just keep the positive vibes going. But until then, though, you can see me next Friday when I will have my next video out. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you so much. I really appreciate you for watching it all the way through, and I'm going.